Possible evidence of the brutal sacrificial rituals undertaken by the Aztecs has been dug up from below the surface of Mexico. Here's what you need to know. An altar containing a pot of human ashes was found near a square in Mexico City. Archaeologists say it dates back to near the end of the Aztec Empire, the BBC reports. Archaeologists with Mexico's National Institute for Anthropology and History also found 13 intricately decorated incense burners carefully placed in what they say was the courtyard area of a family home, where they explained the inhabitants would have held a ritual to bear witness to the ending of a cycle of their lives and their civilization. The altar dates to the time of the Spanish conquest. The house itself was located in one quarter of the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan, according to the American Post, and would also have been made up of a large room which was connected by a corridor to 5 smaller rooms, one of which is believed to be a kitchen, according to the BBC. The Mexica, rulers of the Aztec Empire, performed human sacrifice as an offering to the gods. They believed doing so would ensure the continued existence of the universe. The rituals may also have helped control subjugated populations. The Mexica settled in the basin of Mexico and built their capital, Tenochtitlan, on an island in Lake Texcoco. After the Aztec Empire was conquered by the Spanish, the lake was drained and the Spanish built Mexico City on the ruins of Aztec City. At its apex, Tenochtitlan had a population of more than 200,000 people, with some estimates as high as 350,000. The temple complex in the middle of the island was the religious and political heart of the city-state. Most human sacrifices were performed at the top of the Templo Mayor. Tributes, usually captured enemy warriors, were laid on stone slabs. Priests used obsidian blades to slice through the diaphragm and split open the chest. After taking out the tribute's still-beating heart, priests decapitated the body, reduced it to a skull, and carved holes into the side to mount the skulls to wooden posts. The posts were mounted on racks called tzompantli, which held thousands of skulls. These were flanked by 2 towers built from skulls and mortar to form the Huey Tzompantli, which stood in front of the Templo Mayor. Since 2015, more than 600 skulls have been unearthed at the site, according to Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History.
Researchers have uncovered a vast collection of human skulls beneath modern Mexico City, in an area that was once the epicenter of the Aztec Empire. In 2015, the team discovered and began excavating the remains of the Tzompantli, an enormous rack of skulls in front of the Templo Mayor, which is flanked by 2 towers of skull and mortar. Both are believed to be part of human sacrifice rituals. After taking out the tribute's beating heart, priests decapitate the body, reduce it to a skull, and carve holes into the side to mount the skulls on wooden poles. 75% of the skulls found at the site belonged to warriors, men aged 20 to 35, but 20% were found to be from women and 5% were of children.
The Guardian reports that the oldest solar observatory in the Americas has been awarded UNESCO World Heritage status and dubbed a masterpiece of human creative genius. Chanquillo is a 2,300-year-old archaeological ruin that lies in a desert valley in northern Peru. Its most famous features are 13 stone towers built around 220 BC. The towers functioned as a calendar that used the rising and setting arcs of the sun to mark equinoxes and solstices. It was also used to define the precise time of year to within 1 or 2 days. The site includes an imposing triple-walled hilltop complex known as the Fortified Temple. Archaeologists believe the site was likely abandoned in the early 1st century AD and was largely forgotten until the 19th century. No human remains have been found at the ruins and little is known about the culture. Chanquillo Program Director Ivan Gessi says the site was built at a time of great conflict and social strife, and the Chanquillo society was the product of a process of balkanization that followed the collapse of the even older Chavin culture. Researchers used laser technology to scan a hill next to an ancient Mayan city and were shocked to find the hill was actually the ruins of structures from a different civilization. Here are the details. Gizmodo reports that archaeologists working in Guatemala's ancient Mayan city of Tikal have stumbled on a very surprising discovery. After using laser-based sensing technology called LiDAR, the team found that the hills next to Tikal are actually not hills at all, but the ruins of foreign buildings that look very different from those of Tikal. After studying the hidden neighborhood, researchers found that the architecture of its buildings is alien to that of Tikal and looks exactly like the architecture of Teotihuacan, an ancient city near modern-day Mexico City. Situated 1,200 kilometers from Tikal, Teotihuacan was the most powerful city in the ancient Americas, the capital of a culture that was very different from the Mayans and also dominated the Mayans. The fact that an entire neighborhood of Teotihuacan existed right next to the center of Tikal suggests to the researchers that the area was created to remind the Mayans of the imperial power of mighty Teotihuacan. The two cultures lived in relative peace for centuries until Teotihuacan conquered Tikal in 378 CE. This is not the first time that Tikal surprised the heck out of archaeologists. The ancient Mayan city of Tikal has long fascinated scientists with its clues to how the ancient Maya people lived and constructed their cities. In 2020, a team of researchers found evidence that the Mayans had managed to build a sophisticated water purification system in Tikal over 2,000 years ago. The team published their findings in the journal Scientific Reports. According to lead researcher Kenneth Tankersley of the University of Cincinnati, the purification system was so advanced it would still be effective today. The system used a limestone wall with holes in it, as well as layers of woven plant fibers to hold back the core filtration system, which is a wall of sand filled with quartz and zeolite particles. This sandy mixture of quartz and zeolite acts as a very effective molecular sieve, which would trap the harmful heavy metals, microbes, and toxins while letting the water seep through. According to the researchers, this type of water purification system would have been very important when building a city in the jungle, where rivers often produce harmful and deadly bacteria.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.